What is going on, Big Schlong Gamers? It is Benzer, and today we're going to be going over PhD Slider and its tiers. They've been revealed as of last night, and I wanted to go over them, share my thoughts, all that nonsense. You know how it goes, but if you haven't already, leave a like, subscribe, all that cool nonsense really helps out. And if you do, I'll shout you out. Yes, you, the big homie. And if you don't, I'll come to your house and literally, I don't know, kiss you on the cheek very softly, okay? So yeah, you gotta do it right now. But honestly, let's just jump right into it. Okay, PhD Slider, its base ability has been revealed as well. And the following states, base ability is sliding into enemies triggers an explosion. The size and damage increases the farther you slide before impact. So I'm assuming what this means is you're running, right, and you slide. You know how you can just kind of quickly slide in and jump off something, and that's like a quick slide. I'm assuming this is just say you're sliding down a hill, or you're sliding down something, or just even sliding just straight up. You can do this and then also have a really good impact. I'm assuming the more damage also to the slide. But also another thing, I'm not sure if it'll work after the slide. So say you slide right before and you don't hit an enemy, it might not work. From what it seems like, this is what it is. And I guess that's just the base tier for the weapon. Doesn't seem too bad, but I'm pretty interested in it. PhD Slider does seem really cool in this game. Now, skill tier number 1, immunity to environmental damage while sliding. Okay, so this is definitely an interesting one, something I didn't really even think of. I'm assuming environmental damage would be, say, fire damage, or a megaton blast, an explosion. I'm thinking along the lines of that because I don't know what else would be environmental in this game. Maybe a fire or something, or Molotovs, maybe something along that line would make sense, but genuinely I don't know. It could be pertaining to bosses, but it also could be to say explosives, or also bosses. Skill tier 2 is increased slide duration. Okay, so this is actually definitely something useful. It's pretty straightforward and simple. You slide a little bit farther, which is pretty nice. I don't know how much this is. They don't even say a specific amount. It's just straight up increased slide duration. This will be useful for, say, maybe speed runs, I guess, maybe, or it'll mainly probably help PhD Slider and won't help any other perks, because no other perks really goes hand in hand with sliding. Maybe stamina up in Ether Shroud, but at the end of the day it doesn't really benefit the other, if that makes sense. Tier 3, on the other hand, immunity to self-inflicted explosive damage. So you see this M27 right now. You see I'm just shooting it around and just playing around. I do damage to myself. I even downed myself earlier. So apparently now it gives us the effect of PhD Flopper, where we can actually take on as many shots as we'd like to our feet or near us, and we won't take any damage. This is going to be really useful, and the main reason of PhD and giving it that title alongside with Slider, everybody really does enjoy PhD. It was in the other games a very, very long time ago. They haven't brought it back in some time, but hey, Treyarch's just hey, you want to be overpowered? Here you go. Cold War's the game, you get to do it. So this will mainly be useful to say things like explosive weapons or C4s or Simtexes. It's not too bad with Simtexes, but C4s, yes, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. And mainly explosives up close. I believe this will change at least the meta for Cold War easily. If you max out a weapon, get it to, gold tier 3 Pack-a-Punch, slap on Ring of Fire, you're going to be invincible with this no matter what. Even if you don't personally like explosives, to me this seems like it would be a good idea to just carry something like the M27 in your pocket, just because if you could be basically invincible with Ring of Fire and an explosive weapon, why not take it? I think this is going to change a lot of things that pertains to how even high rounds are played, or even speed runs as well, because if you can just do splash damage and have a ton of ammo, why not take it? You don't have to be accurate, you don't have to take the time or anything like that, and that helps just with casual playing as well. And another thing, who doesn't like playing with explosive weapons? They're fun, they're easy to use. You might have to reload a lot, but things with the M27 grenade launcher, you can sometimes shoot more than 3, which possibly will help with this PhD Slider situation. Tier 4, on the other hand, increased slide speed. This really just goes in hand with tier 2. You think you just put them together, but I guess Treyarch's just trying to stretch out the tiers as much as they possibly can with this. slide speed, I mean, I think what this is going to be, like the speed relative, is going to be about, you know, when you jump off, say, a like little like ledge, and then you land on like a rail and you kind of just like slide off it and you get that boost. I'm assuming that's how it's going to be now. If you could picture that in your head, I think that's how the slide speed is going to be, but I could be wrong. This is going to be kind of nice with, say, when you jump off a ledge and do exactly what I stated, but with this tier, so you slide a little bit faster than normal. I think it'd be cool to see, and we're not exactly sure, like tier 2, it doesn't stay at all in the slightest. Now, tier 5. Falling from a large height will trigger an explosion. The size and damage increase the higher you fall. This is PhD Flopper. They kind of just merged Slider and Flopper into two with tier 3 and 5. This is more so a fun perk tier. It's not necessarily one that's absolutely essential. It's just something you could do. Maybe possibly this might be a way to actually get into high rounds and do a lot of damage, because as stated, you know, it does do a little bit more damage the higher you fall, which will be really nice. We're not sure exactly how much the damage is, but we will see within tonight. I mean, it does drop in like 8 hours. Yeah, about 8 hours from the time that this video releases. You know, I'll definitely be doing some videos covering that as well. But I mean, we get Flopper, which is really nice. I know a lot of people were kind of worried about Flopper not being in the game, but I mean, hey, we get it now, which is a nice little surprise from Treyarch, giving us a little fan service from all the years we didn't get PhD Flopper and how everybody was mad. But I want to take the rest of this video to explain how well PhD Slider will actually be of use in the game now that we actually know the tiers, rather than just an assumption that I did off on my other video pertaining PhD Slider. But you know, here, I mean, PhD Slider, it's going to be good. I mean, I'm definitely not going to say it's going to be the best, but if you're going to be using explosive weapons, this is going to be a really good, very good perk. And you know, it's not exactly like explosive weapons are the best. Let's be honest here. You know, shotguns are really powerful, but explosive weapons are going to be a really good change for the gameplay, and also they're not going to be a bad change either. I mean, explosive weapons, the main reason why people don't use them is, number one, you know, you don't get too much damage until you upgrade into the higher rounds and also use Ring of Fire, but you are mainly taking a lot of damage. And you could even see right now, you know, you can put on armor and reduce the damage pretty good, but if you're shooting it at your feet, you're going to be dying. At the end of the day, you know, you're just going to be chewing through those self-revives, chewing through armor most of the time, and you know, that's going to be really useful. Another thing also I wanted to talk about as well, one of the tiers, you know, you don't take any splash damage, right? Like tier 3, it specifically states that, but what I am worried about though with this tier is it going to protect against armor? Because armor, you know, everybody knows this, it's mainly used for this mode. I mean, there's not one game you're not using it, just because it's ultimately your shield. You can take a lot more hits with the armor, but hopefully this will actually pertain in that category as well and actually use that category, which would be really nice. But you know, if it doesn't, I feel like PhD Slider is definitely going to have to get a buff. But I think that's definitely going to have to wrap it up for this episode or video or whatever you want to call it. So if you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, all that cool nonsense. You know how this goes. Check out the links in the description. Don't want to hound you for it, but do it now, okay? But if you made it this far, you deserve a cookie, and I love you. But in that, gamers, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day. See ya!